I'm here with Marco. He's an e-commerce store owner, and we've been talking in the past for a while. He's been crushing it, both with drop shipping and also having his own stock. And he was able to make around $200,000 in the last 10 months since end of 2015. And he has a very unique method in which he actually promoted the store and got sales. So this is going to be really interesting for you guys. You're going to love this. So welcome, Marco, to this interview. It's great to have you.
Hi, Till. Thanks for the introduction.
Awesome. So maybe you can start off by just talking a little bit about, what you did and the unique method that you use to promote your physical products.
Yes, sure. So I started with e-commerce back like 3 years ago with eBay stuff and so on. And last, around October, I started building my store that we talk about today. So this 200K store, and we got our first sale in end of November. And like you said, we used a little special strategy, so we didn't go with normal Facebook ads or Google AdWords, because we used an affiliate strategy. And what this means is that we basically paid other people, other website owners, to advertise our products, to write articles about them, to promote them, and we pay them a cut if we make a sale through them. So they directed the traffic to our website, and when we made a sale, we paid the affiliate money, and we had around 3 to 10 affiliates at a time, all of them having a website that ranked pretty well for the keywords that we needed. So this was a pretty cool thing because we only had to pay on commission and we didn't have any fixed marketing costs.
Right. And you mentioned to me that, you started off with a dropshipping store, and then after a few weeks or months, you changed to having your own stock. But what's also unique about your store is that you aren't doing free plus shipping, so you're selling actually, technical items that I think you said sold for around 500. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. A little $550, something like that.
Okay,
Yes.
that's awesome. And you built the store with Shopify as well, right?
Yes.
And so tell a bit about how you started the business as a dropshipping model and how you then switched. And maybe we can also log into the back end of your Shopify store, kind of show people that this is real, show some of the results, some of the sales you got. Because a lot of people, they get Shopify, they enroll in the trial, and they have all these numbers, right? It's zero, like no traffic, no sales, at least in the beginning. And I think it's important for people also to see, what is possible in 10 months. So if you actually build an e-commerce store and you have a winning product in a great niche and you target the right people and you have a great strategy, which we're going to share today with people, you can actually achieve pretty life-changing results, right?
Yes.
So yeah, maybe we can start off by logging in and just showing people kind of what's possible, just to start with a bit of motivation, and then we'll get into how you built the store, how you used affiliate marketing and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so I will show my screen then now. As you can see here, today's visitors only 2 because, like I said to you before, we are currently selling the store and the store is not active anymore. Actually, you cannot even buy things at the moment, so we have this Shopify paused subscription.
Yeah.
And so here on the right, you can see the sales dashboard. We made our first sale in late November, and then it was pretty steady. One time in January, we had to refund a lot of things. So this is this spike here, minus 6,000 in one day. But
Wow.
It was pretty steady actually. So of course, up, down, up, down, up, down, but it was not like a one big trend. And here is the time where we basically stopped selling. So in late July, August, we stopped selling and concentrated on our other big project. And this is also the time where we decided that we want to sell the store, because the store takes quite a lot of effort and it's not that easy to outsource it. So many people tell me, why don't you just get like a manager who does it for you for a cut? But we found out that it's not that easy to simply give this store away, because there are so many things to cover. And it's for us, we decided that we don't want to have this at hand. And teach someone and be there all the time. We just want to get rid of it, even though it was a great project, and focus on our new stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, how much are you planning to sell it for? Because that's also, I mean, you're showing these results, and those are great results, but I mean, you can also make a nice buck from selling a store like this, right? So do you have any
Mhm.
like number in mind or anything like that?
Actually, we started trying it to sell on Flipper, but this was not that easy because it's a German store, and on Flipper, most of the people are looking for English-speaking stores in US or UK. So actually, when we began to sell it, we thought that we could definitely get something like a good, decent five-figure number at least for the store. I mean, we have
Yeah.
to take into account that we didn't make sale for a few months, so it's makes it a little harder. But still, we definitely planned to get a nice five-figure number, but it turns out that it's not that easy, and we're seeking a buyer now for quite some time, simply because most of the interest are from America, and they think that it might be a little too hard to run a dropship to run a e-commerce store from the US when it operates in German with
Yeah.
German language, German customers. So yeah, this is a little hard to tell. Definitely a five-figure number. I wouldn't sell it like for a few thousand only. But how high exactly? Well, if someone approaches me and says, "Here, we offer you this amount of money," I might think about it.
Yeah.
But because there was so much things going on with potential buyers of the website, I'm quite flexible when I get a very good offer for this.
Sure. And it's still a nice thing. I mean, you make 140,000 in that's euros, so it's a lot more in dollars. And
Mhm.
you get like another five figure just additionally with basically no additional work. I mean, you just have to hand over the store, maybe train them a little bit. That's going to take some time, but it's still like, yeah, I mean, it's a very successful project for sure. So yeah,
Mhm.
maybe how did you start? How did you start? I mean, you started as a drop shipping store and you sourced the
Yes.
products from China. So maybe you can talk a bit about how you started with drop shipping, how you found the supplier, and how you started everything, and then how you changed to having your own stock, kind of a bit the backstory of the store.
Okay, so with this store, I didn't use AliExpress. Actually, back then, I knew about AliExpress, but yeah, I didn't use it. I went to Alibaba, and there were a lot of suppliers for this specific product. And I screened like 10 suppliers. I chatted with them, and I found out more about them. So I definitely want to talk with any of them in private before I make any order. Maybe if you bought something on Alibaba before, you know that it's not as simple as on AliExpress where you just click checkout and you buy it. You always have to negotiate a bit and so on. And yeah, then we at some point in time I bought a sample product because with this kind of product when it's electronical and quite expensive, you don't just sell something that you didn't try before. So I bought myself a sample and I tried it for like 1 week, and then I decided, okay, this supplier is great. I want to go with him, and from this point in time, I sold my products directly from Alibaba to my customers in Germany. And we used the drop shipping model. And in this case, it worked out because the products were so expensive that it would make sense for us to use express shipping. So our customers usually had the product after 7, 8 days. And this is something that is still okay for me
Yeah.
because the more expensive the product gets, the harder it is to like let them wait for 2 months. If you pay
Yeah.
$500, you don't want to wait 2 months. So we definitely had to use this express shipping, which meant that we paid like $130 for one shipping only, which is really a
That's a
lot.
lot, yeah. How much was the
And
margin? I mean, you sold it for 550. Maybe
mhm,
in what product range was the original wholesale product?
the wholesale product was, if you buy it one by one, it was around 150 if I'm right. So then we had this 130 shipping. Like I will tell you later on, we had the affiliates who got around 50 for the commission, and then we had all these fixed costs like Shopify and this and that.
Right.
So the margin was like 150 or something like this. In euro, we always calculated with 100 euro to 150 euro. So
Yeah, gotcha.
and it somehow depended on if we had an affiliate at this time for this purchase or if we bought this in bulk, so it could range from 100 to 200.
And you started off the drop shipping store right from the get-go with affiliate marketing, right?
Yes, so I didn't spend any penny on Facebook or on Google or on Instagram. I started the store. I made the store look quite professional, quite qualitative, and most of my competition in this niche was selling pretty cheap stuff, and the stores looked a little, yeah, not so well. Um, and especially if you know the German audience, they are pretty much about, yeah, quality product and these things. And so my store was positioned at a high end, and this is the reason why I could pay my affiliates more in commission than these people who sell these products for 200, for example. And I approached my affiliates and said, hey, what's up? Do you want to advertise for me? And I wrote them a short story. I showed them my store, which looked pretty cool at this time. And people and the affiliates liked the store, and they said, oh, the store looks good. I could imagine that the store gets good conversions. And I said, hey, I will give you 50 euros if you make a sale. And actually, most of the affiliates that I contacted were willing to work with me, even though I didn't pay them anything upfront. So
Yeah.
it was a pure commission-based model.
Yeah, and that's really important because a lot of people right now are doing influencer marketing, which is something I talk about in other, modules and with other people. But just to clarify for people, affiliate marketing is essentially different than influencer marketing because with influencer marketing, usually you approach an influencer who has like a big following and you pay him or her, a certain sum of money to give you a shout out or multiple shout outs. For example, there's a guy I know who actually pays people on Twitter like $250, and the influencer on Twitter then gives a daily shout out for a week. So I think 7 shout outs on Twitter or something like that. And that was for $250, but there's no affiliate commissions. And with the affiliate model, the great thing is there's no overhead costs. You don't have to pay anything upfront, and there's no risk. The beautiful thing about affiliate marketing is that it completely gets rid of any risk because you only pay people when you already have the sale. Meaning, if you spend $200 on Facebook ads, maybe you don't get any sales. Obviously, if you follow my stuff, you should never do that. You should test with small budgets and never spend $200 without making a sale. But people do it all the time, and they don't understand how Facebook ads work, and they lose some money. And people also do that with influencer marketing, where they basically they put down some money for an Instagram shout out. They don't do it the right way, and they lose some money. So with affiliate marketing, there's no risk for that because people only get paid when you get paid, which is it's a no risk model for you. Actually, there's more risk on the affiliate because they might invest a lot of time and energy without making a sale. But for you, that doesn't matter because you just pay them if they make a sale. So
yes, exactly.
yeah. So how did you? I mean, let's talk about how you find these affiliates. How do you research these? Do you use Google? Did you look for, are these people mainly bloggers or like social media celebrities? Who did you go after and how did you find them?
I went with Google, so I put the keywords relevant for my niche into Google, and I found these sites, and they were all sites, authority sites about this product. So there weren't any celebrities or people who have a big audience. This were just like blogs or niche sites who talk about these products, who give information about it, who compare different products. So a typical typical website that makes money doing affiliate marketing for these products. So a lot of them were advertising Amazon products, some were advertising eBay products. And as you may know, Amazon and eBay usually have very thin affiliate commissions. So when I approached them with, hey, you get 50 euros for a sale, they were pretty much for it. So they said, oh, that sounds good. That is much more than I get. So even if your conversion rate is a little lower than on Amazon, which is normal, I still make good money if I promote you. And the thing is, they had these kind of rankings on their website where they say, this is the best product, this is the second best. And because I had this quality image and my products actually, since I tested them, were also, well, pretty good. They put it onto one or two in the ranking all the time. So this was also a pretty good thing for me. But I approached them all through Google, so that I didn't use any directory or tool or whatever. I just went to Google and contacted like 10, 15, 20 of these sites
Yeah, I
with
love
my
it.
offer.
I love it. A lot of people underestimate the power of Google. Like I
Yes.
remember, when I started building my service business, I went to Google and I basically researched, people just based on Google. I would like look for keywords and I would try to find my perfect clients and find their websites, and then I would basically go and find their email or their telephone number and I would reach out to them. And I just used
Mm.
Google. Later on, I used LinkedIn and the Sales Navigator, and there's lots of tools you can use. But yeah, Google is an amazing tool. Like if you learn to use Google the right way, it can literally become a gold mine for you.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
how many affiliates did you like what was your ratio? How many affiliates did you approach? How many got back to you? And how many did you have to approach before you got your first like affiliate to say, yes, I'm going to do this?
So at first I approached like 5 affiliates,
Hmm.
and actually out of these five, all five worked with me. So this was pretty surprising. And then over
Awesome.
time, I contacted one this week, then two the another week, then for 1 month I contacted none. But so the first few were all down for it. So this was pretty nice. And actually, in the end, we all the time we had like 5 to 10 active affiliates. One of them being by far the biggest. So like half of all affiliate sales come from them,
Hmm.
and the rest was also contributing a few sales a week. They 10 sales a week, maybe three. It was pretty interesting. And yeah, at some point in time, I also called the affiliates instead of writing an email, because sometimes you had to wait really, really long for a response. And it also worked fine. So this is another tip that I can give. If you try to reach out to people and they have their phone number on the website, it's not a bad idea to call them, because many times your email is in the spam filter or they simply don't look at it. And if you really want to work with this person and the phone number is listed on the website, don't be afraid to just call them and give them your offer. So
Yeah, cold. I mean, now you would call them before they responded to the email, so like as a cold call, or only once you've talked to them and then they don't get back to you, like some follow-up email. Would you call then, or would you cold call them?
yeah, I actually wrote an email all the time before, and
Yeah,
most of them responded to that email. But the few times where they didn't, I called them. And after some time, I said, okay, if I want to make new contact now, then I will call from now on immediately if there is a number.
yeah,
So I began with email only, which is, I think, easier and more convenient for
yeah,
many
yeah.
people. And then I switched.
Makes sense. And so let's talk about the email because people want to have details usually, and the more practical it is, the better. So
Yes.
was it I mean, give us a breakdown of the email, or maybe you even have a template that you can like somehow add. And I know it's going to be in German, I guess, and we have to like
Yes.
get rid of some details, like because we want to protect the niche because Marco is actually in the process of selling the store, and there's a lot of reasons why people want to keep their niches under wraps, which is fine. But maybe we can actually take like your original template, if you have something, somehow change it a bit, make it a bit more generic so people can use it, translate it into English so people can also use it.
Mhm.
But give us a quick rundown of like what was in the subject line, more or less. Was it a long email, a short email? What did you go for? What did you write in that email?
Yeah, so the subject line was pretty basic. It was something like partnership for this and this product.
Mm-hmm.
So very easy. And then I introduced myself very shortly. I said that I made this new website and that we are all about quality products and that we really want to work with German people, with maybe sounds a bit long, with German customers.
Yeah.
And we said that we really focus on this kind of German support and these things, because many people at this time bought these products like in all over Europe or even outside of Europe. And this was a problem because the support was really, really bad. So this was another good thing for us, that we could say, okay, if you buy from us, we give you German support via email and phone. And this was also an argument for us. And yeah, so I told them, the affiliate, that we will do this kind of support and that we have this quality products. Then I gave them a link to the website, of course, and I said, hey, so because our product is rather expensive, we will also pay you a very good cut for it. And it was not that of a long email, maybe like half a page or something like this, or even less, 10 sentences maybe, and 3 paragraphs, introduction, talking about the project and what I will pay them and so on. And in the end, I told them, yes, if you're interested, please come back. I would love to make a deal with you about this. And I also, what I told them is that I didn't have a cookie tracking at this time. So I didn't use any cookie tracker for them to record their sales. I just gave them a coupon code. So I said, for example, I give you a coupon code with your website name on it. And then the coupon code was like their website.
Yeah.
And the customers could use it. So they got a promotion on the product. And at the same time, the affiliate got the money for the commission. And we didn't have to implement cookie tracking. And this was also a very good thing. Negative part about this, of course, that some of the affiliates were a little bit insecure if you're really honest with them, because they couldn't prove it if they don't have cookie tracking. But actually, this was a pretty easy thing, and at some point in time, all of them were happy with this, and it really went great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, for everyone watching, I mean, you don't have to overcomplicate things. Like I see people always overcomplicate it, and that's a beautiful, simple solution to start getting affiliate sales. Just create a coupon code. You don't even need a plugin. You can do this in Shopify. It's built in. You can create a coupon code somehow that's unique for the affiliate, and you can that way you can track sales. So you don't have to overcomplicate it. And obviously, you were able to pull it off. People always think they have to do it perfectly and have this crazy sophisticated system, but I'm a huge fan of simplicity and keeping things, minimal and simple, and that's a beautiful example. Now, that being said, there's also obviously cookie tracking solutions that, for example, I use in product launches like this too. There's one called Reversion. I'm also going to add this somehow in the links or in the resources. Reversion is a Shopify app. There's also one called Lead Dino, which I use for all my affiliate marketing. They also have a Shopify app, and it's also a standalone application. Did you ever switch from using coupons to some sort of affiliate tracking, or you stick to the coupons?
We stick to the coupon basically all the time, and at the point where we thought about doing cookie tracking now, this was already the time where we stopped selling. So
okay, gotcha.
There was one affiliate who told us, hey, right now I would like to change to cookie tracking system, but this was very, very late. So we started in November, and he approached us with this in like June 2016 or something. So it worked out really, really well. I mean, of course, if we had like 100 affiliates or more, or more professional affiliates who really said that they want to keep everything clear, then we would have to make one immediately. But for us, it really worked this way, and so we didn't have any reason to change.
Yeah, so people have different options. You guys can go with coupon codes. You guys can go with something like Reversion or Lead Dino. It's both fine, but you can do it simply. Also, one question, did you educate your affiliates on how to promote the product, or did you give them this free reign and basically told them do whatever you think works, or did you provide some sort of tips like write a blog post, make a video, do this, or did you just tell them, look, you're the affiliate, you just do whatever you want to do to make sales? How did you go about that?
So since they were already advertising these kind of products, they know how to do it in general, and they also had blog posts already about these products. But what I told them, of course, is that they always should emphasize this quality and support image, because this was the thing that most of the other products lacked. So this was basically our unique selling proposition, and I told them that this is the thing that they have to emphasize. For all other things, they could do what they want, and some made a short video, some made a blog post, some didn't write anything at all, and they were completely free, but I always told them that they should focus on these few things that are our key aspects.
Yeah.
And they implemented it quite well, actually.
That makes sense. And so your affiliates, did they do like a one-off promotion, like a video or a blog post, or that then gained like traffic, organic traffic, video traffic, for example, SEO traffic, or did they do like ongoing promotions? Like what was the nature of their promotion usually?
So first of all, the websites ranked pretty well for the keywords that were relevant for my niche. So you couldn't Google about my niche without stumbling upon me in the end, because I was on all the sites. And always on the index side, you could see most of the time these product rankings already. So on almost any index site, we were somehow featured, and they basically listed the product once, and like I said before, they have these rankings and they have this blog post, and they didn't promote it like in a special way. They just had these both things, and yeah, they constantly adjusted these rankings. So somehow we were one, then we were two, then we were one, but most of the traffic was solely from organic traffic through Google, for example. So they came to Google, put it in the keywords, then they were on their website, then they compared these products, and they
Yeah.
saw, oh, they are on place on rank one. Let's click on this website. Let's use this coupon code, and that's it. So nothing's really special, like a unique sales promotion. And I think most of them also didn't use any paid traffic for their sites. It was really about organic traffic that was divided to this 10 sites.
Yeah. And you paid out affiliates monthly, or how did you go about? You paid them
Yes,
per
exactly.
PayPal, or how did you go about that?
We paid them through bank because all of them were in Germany. It was pretty easy, and
Okay.
we paid them as soon as in Germany you have this 14 days of where you can return your product without saying anything. So you could say after 10 days, oh no, I don't like the product, I give it back, and you give me the money. This is something you have to do in Germany. And when these 14 days were over, we made the commission available. So if someone returned it after 10 days, we didn't pay commission, but after 14 days, we said, okay, now you have your commission. And after, like, I thought, that, yes, the 15th of each month, we paid all the commissions.
Okay. Um, and in terms of traffic and conversion rates, like how much traffic did you get? I mean, all the traffic that you got to the store pretty much was from affiliates. What was like
Mhm.
your conversion rate? Like how many, let's say, like what was the traffic versus sales volume?
So our conversion rate usually was between 1.5 and 2%. So average was quite good, but not exceptional. We had like on bad days we had like 100 visitors. Sometimes we had 300, 400, sometimes we had 1,000, but this was pretty rare because in our case it was not about the volume, it was about that this was quality traffic. And I mean 500 people that are very interested in such kind of product which is so expensive are really awesome already.
Yeah.
So yes, this was that. So between 1 and 2% conversion rate, and 100, 200, 300, 400 visitors a day. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so let's talk about the shift from drop shipping to having your own stock. So why did you decide to do that? Obviously, drop shipping is a great way to start and test a niche, and without any risk, you don't have to order a big bulk of items. But so let's talk a bit about the shift, why you did it, how you did it, and basically how you manage your stock, like how you went about all that, how you imported the products, and how you went about all that.
Okay, so there were a few reasons why we went to the other model, and one of them was that, as you might know, PayPal and so on, they don't like it very much if you don't own the products yourself.
Yeah.
And in our case, we had some trouble with them, especially because there were so large order volumes. So if PayPal sees 500 bucks, oh, and they don't send it out or they don't receive it immediately, there were some problems, even though we barely had any PayPal cases and so on.
Yeah.
So this was one reason. The other reason, of course, was the very, very high shipping costs. I mean, 130 to 150 bucks a product. If we bought like 20 or 30 of them, which we did later on at the same time, it like reduced to the half because they could use these big packages. And another thing was that sometimes there were some problems. So sometimes people received their package and still had to pay for customs at their door, which was of course very unprofessional. If you receive a package for 500 bucks and then on the door the post guy tells you, oh yes, you have to pay 50 more. Then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say what's going on. They emailed us, and of course we have to give them this money back. And also many of these packages looked pretty bad after they shipped over the world, and they waited quite a lot, and they were quite big. So most of these packages didn't look that good afterwards, and of course these were all things that made the customer experience worse. And
Yeah.
at some point we decided, okay, like I said, around 2 months after, this was the time where I invited a partner to the project, and we made it So us two then, previously I made it alone. Then we decided that we want to buy stock. We purchased around 20 to 30 products at once and stored them at our houses simply. So we didn't have a warehouse. I actually was in negotiation with a fulfillment center, and we were already like closing the deal. But then in the end, we decided, okay, if we think about it, 20 or 30 products is something that you could still store at your home. And then we decided to do this because this volume is too low to use a fulfillment center. For me, I always say above 50, like if you have like 50 things in stock or more, or 100, then you could use it, but for less it doesn't make that much sense. And I mean, yeah, we had to ship several products a day usually, and the office was right to our homes, and it was not that complicated. Of course, you have more investment if you buy these things at once, and especially since we had different colors and different variations of our product, we had to think, okay, we buy 10 of this, 5 of this, 3 of this. This also means that sometimes a product didn't sell at all for like 3 months or something.
Yeah, so you have more risk. I mean, that's the thing. Drop shipping and having your own stock both have like upsides and downsides. I mean, the upside to drop shipping is it's low risk in terms of losing money, because you can just test a niche really lean. You can see, does it sell? You can basically list a product before you own it. And that's really cool because you don't have to import anything prior. Downsides obviously are you have little control over packaging and shipping, quality control, branding, shipping times and stuff like that. Also customs can be a problem. But on the other hand, if you have your own stock, obviously you have more logistical problems. Like you said, you kept it simple, which I like. Again, I'm a huge fan of keeping things simple. So even if people watching this want to switch from a drop shipping store to having their own stock one day, they can simply send it to their homes and like keep it there. Even small items, like small items that don't need a lot of space, you can have hundreds of them in a small, like, in a small corner of your room, theoretically, in some boxes. Plus the post office was closed, so you guys just took the how did you box like the items? Did you change? Did you have your own box? Did you brand the box? How did you go about that?
Basically, in the very beginning, we started just sending them to our home and then sending them out. So we didn't even take a new box if the box was okay. Then at some point we decided that we buy a large stock of big boxes, which looked very like durable, and they were really good, and we put them in, and we also bought this material that you put in so that it's safe, this soft material.
And that's pretty cheap, right, to buy that stuff? It's not like crazy expensive.
Yes, I mean, we bought like huge numbers. So we bought like 600 packages, and we bought like 6 of these big things of this material. But it was still pretty cheap compared to the other expenses. And we always wanted to brand these whole things, so the product as well as the packaging and so on. But for us, it was pretty hard because we still needed big volumes, and if you have a very expensive product and need big volumes, this was already a little hard. So if our product would have been cheaper, we would definitely have branded everything. But in our case, till the end, we didn't have everything completely branded. But still, it worked pretty fine, and it was still a cool thing for us.
Gotcha. And then you created your own, you got rid of any Alibaba invoices, anything like that. That basically was just between you and Alibaba. You got rid of all that. You created your own invoices, I guess, added those to the packages, branded those, put the original price as well, right? And then you sent those from your home, and you just literally walked with a package or two to the post office and sent them from there. That's it, right?
Yes. Exactly. So we also got discounts on them. So we bought like 50 post stamps or post things at once. And then when we, for example, sometimes we had to ship 8 of these a day, sometimes maybe even none, sometimes 5, sometimes 4. And at the post office, they already know us because we always come with these big packages and bring them in and say, oh, here, another package, and here and here. And there was like half the day where they were just working with us, and their office, it was a very, very small office because it was like it was sharing the space with another store, and half of the office was full when we moved in with our packages. So they were a bit annoyed every time we went in there. But it was really nice, and we also had discounts. It was pretty cheap to ship them around Germany. The package arrived after 2 or 3 days, and it was a
Nice.
big improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you have any other tips in terms of using Shopify? Did you have any apps that you liked? Anything special you did on Shopify that made a difference for you? And also the theme. I mean, you did, I guess you didn't use one of Shopify's basic themes. How did you get a theme, or did you use one of Shopify's basic ones?
Actually, I did use one. I used Brooklyn, which I think is this theme that most people like and use actually.
Yeah.
Um, we never moved to another one, even at some point where we made a lot of sales, we stick to it because in our case it looked really nice. And one tip that I can give definitely, especially if you sell like only 1 or 2 products or a few products, is to get a video. So it can really, really increase your conversions if you have a video explaining the product. So think about buying one product from AliExpress for yourself, make a video or let someone else do it, pay them a little bit of money and make like a very nice video promotion, because people like to see this product in action. And if they see how to really use it or how it works and how you, if you have something to wear, then how you can wear it or something,
Yeah.
it really, really helps. The same as with photos. So many people tend to use the AliExpress standard photos, which is okay, especially if you have a very big store with like thousands or hundreds of products. But if you have just
Yeah.
a few, then think about buying all these products for yourself and making really, really, really good photos, because this can have a very big impact on your sales. And in terms of apps, Lucky Orange is one that I really like, where you can track all this visitor behavior, have this heat maps and so on. Um, what did we use then? Lucky Orange was always with us. Klaviyo email marketing
Hmm.
to edit templates and to send out emails. Um, yeah, just think these were the two best. Of course, we also had more, but these were the ones that were really
Yeah.
essential. The
And I
product
like
reviews.
I like the simplicity again that you used like one of Shopify's basic themes. I basically for all my stores use one of Shopify's basic themes. I use the
Yes,
simple one. I think it's called Simple or something.
yes, yes.
I
Yeah,
use the bright version, the light version of that a lot because it's super simple and I don't want to
mm,
spend money on a theme. And usually these themes you buy on Theme Forest, they're kind of more complex, so you have to
mm,
actually you can make more mistakes with the layout unless you know what you're doing. With
yes.
these basic Shopify themes, they basically look good. No matter what you do, you can't really mess it up because they're coded very simply. They look
Mm,
clean. You don't have like a million menus and sliders and stuff that you can kind of mess with and mess up as well. So yeah, I like the simplicity, and a lot of people think they have to have this crazy theme and pay someone and all of that, and you can just you need to understand a bit and make the store look great. That's something you emphasized. You want to look high quality,
mm,
especially if you're selling premium items like you do. I find
yes.
that I have a lot of students who have really shitty looking stores, but and they sell a shit ton of stuff, but that's maybe also that's something that works better for cheap items where the perceived
Mm,
value doesn't have to be so high. But
yeah.
when you have like a store where you're selling premium items for 550, you want to make sure that the store layout kind of matches that perceived value that you're trying to build with the pricing. And in
Mm,
that sense, it makes sense to have like professional pictures in some cases, the video, like you said, and have a theme. It can be a basic Shopify theme, but you have to make sure it looks great as well.
yes, absolutely. I also really like the basic theme. So many people overthink this theme thing when they say, "Oh, what theme is perfect for me?" And I tried 10 different themes, and I just say, "Wait, well, why don't you just pick one and focus on advertising and marketing and these things instead of 2 months spending finding the perfect theme?" Because I mean, the theme won't be the determining factor if you succeed or not, right? So
Yeah.
this is often pretty overestimated. And yeah, if it comes to affiliate marketing, then it's pretty important that your store looks at least decent.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the affiliates have the risk of promoting you for free. And if your store is really, really bad and has a bad conversion rate, then they basically make a loss because they could have advertised other people. So, in affiliate marketing, it's actually important that you have at least the decent looking store. So, it's not that easy to actually get affiliates. In my case, the niche was still pretty in the beginning, especially in my country, and therefore it worked better. But if you're in a very, very competitive niche and there are thousands of sellers, thousands of affiliates, then it may be harder to get like a free spot and work there.
Yeah.
But you could still try it. So it's definitely worth a try and contacting them.
Yeah, and you can also go after influencers and recruit them as affiliates. So you can also
Yes.
go after people who aren't really affiliates yet, and just people with huge audiences. Like, if you're selling beauty products, you can find beauty Instagram channels or YouTube channels of, these are very popular. And a lot of these are people working in 9-to-5 jobs oftentimes. They're making some money from YouTube. Instagram people often make no money or very little. I don't know, maybe, but it's not even usually less than 1,000, maybe a bit more than that. And if you can actually provide them with a great product that's relevant for their niche and educate them a bit about affiliate marketing, it's really easy. And I found something that I've tried so far is it's easy to recruit affiliates if you also pay a flat fee. So if you can't get people to promote for you for free from the get-go, what you can do is you can pay them like $200 or $500 and tell them, hey, look, I'm going to pay you this flat fee to record a video or do a shout out. And then once you have the business relationship established from the first transaction, it is very easy to keep them as an affiliate and tell them, hey, look, do you also want to earn like monthly recurring income, hundreds or thousands of dollars? Just add, this affiliate link to all your other videos on this topic and all your other blog posts, or do more shout outs about it. And that's worked for me. I'm only just starting to, experiment with influencer marketing. I've done affiliate marketing in the past, but this is something that's worked for me. And you can always find a way. It just depends on how you approach it. And sometimes you have to invest a bit more upfront or be a bit more pushy, or find the right people. But if you search and if you really look for influencers in your niche and celebrities, I promise you'll find people who basically aren't promoting any products but have a huge audience that is untapped by marketers, and it's relevant. Plus, you can always weasel your way in by kind of hanging, the shiny object in front of them. And even if you send out an email, you can mention like the upfront fee, and people will be much more likely to respond. If you're having troubles getting a response from people when you're trying to recruit affiliates, you can basically just, dangle the shiny object in front of them, have a specific number in there, like 500 or even 1,000 if it's a big influencer and you think it's going to pay off. And you're going to get a response more likely, because it's just people like money. That's just, you will get a response if you offer a high enough amount. And if you understand your niche and how much sales you can make from a big account that has like hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, that can have a huge ROI for you, especially in the long term. Maybe you make a loss in the beginning if you pay 500 or 1,000 for like a YouTube video or something else. But that video can actually gain like hundreds of thousands of views over the next 1 or 2 years. And that is all free traffic from that point on for you. So that's something to consider as well.
And especially it's not like pure cold traffic. So if you have an influencer that has really an audience that likes him, and if he recommends a product, then okay, they don't know you, but they know him. And so they have way more trust than if they just saw your Facebook ad, for example. And this is a really cool thing about influencer marketing, because it's really, really effective.
Yeah. That's one of the main, that's one of the main reasons why influencer marketing works so well. It's because people have this trust they build this trust with a charismatic person. And then if that person endorses a product, instantly the perceived value of that product is super high. They instantly trust the supplier or the vendor, and it makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, any final words on affiliate marketing from your side, or any final tips for people?
Yeah, so two things. First, about the branding and stock thing. I think especially in 2017, dropshipping is still a great way to start out, definitely. And if I tap a new niche and if I'm not 100% confident with it, then I will definitely use dropshipping as well. But I think it's pretty important that you think about buying stock as soon as you make good sales. So many people tend to continue this model forever, and even if they make like a few hundred sales a month and they sell mainly just a few products, they could easily import them, have a way higher margin. And I think this is pretty important to those people that they rethink what they do, and at some point in time when they make consistent and very high sales, that they try to convert their stores to the stock model, eventually even brand the products. And when it comes to marketing and advertising, it's definitely a good idea to try different things out. So I know a lot of people who only use Facebook ads, even though they don't make sales of it. So they simply cannot get it to work. But instead of, like trying AdWords or going with Instagram or even using third-party websites where they can place a banner or something, they just stick with it all the time. And I think it's really important to try different channels, like in my case, affiliate marketing, like you said, influencer marketing, which is can be really effective. Um, yeah, if simply something doesn't work that good for you, or if it works, but you want to try a second channel as well to be less dependent on just one thing, this can be really helpful, especially because I know a lot of people who approach me this time saying that their Facebook ad account was flagged or banned and they
Yeah.
cannot advertise at all for like 2 months or even never again with this account. And can always be a good idea to test a few different things and see what works best for your store.
Yeah, I totally agree. You always want to have, one is the most dangerous number in business. And that's true
Yes.
for income streams. If you just have one income stream and that's gone, you basically have nothing. That's why jobs
Yes.
are really bad, because if you lose your job or the industry goes away, you're fucked. And if you only have one
Yeah,
income
that's true.
stream, like one store or one form of making money, that's also not good. And the same is true for traffic sources and advertising methods. If you have like a Facebook account and that gets banned, and it happens to some people, not not to the majority of people, but I always
Yes,
get
definitely.
people reaching out to me saying, "Look, I got banned," and there's multiple reasons why that happens, and there's also ways to prevent it and to create backup
Hmm.
accounts, which I've talked about on my channel a lot. But even then, it's good to have like a plan B to know, look, even if Facebook goes away or bans me, or I can never use Facebook again, I can just use affiliate marketing. I can just use influencer marketing. I can use AdWords. I can do this, that, and still have a successful store. So I think that's super,
Hmm.
super important.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Marco. So thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing all this information, for spilling all the beans. It's been really, really insightful. I'm sure people are loving this session here. And best of luck for selling the store. I hope you can get a nice sum of money. And best of luck for all your future projects and everything you're doing. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks for inviting me.